For me, just having grown up here and having a lot of good memories of the town, those memories are really important to me. A lot of memories of there just, kind of learning to go out and about by myself as a kid, walk downtown by myself, go to the bank, learn how to make deposits, go to the library, go to the video store, rent movies when that was a thing. And I think just learning to kind of embrace that independence as a young person, those memories are really important to me. And so it made it much more fulfilling to kind of be in Warner as an adult and have that same kind of relationship with the community. So I was gone for a pretty long time. I grew up in Warner, and then I lived a few other places. I lived in Manchester. I was working down there. I went to grad school in Nebraska, and I taught English in Japan 2 different times. And kind of in between, I would, come back to Warner kind of temporarily, kind of get my bearings, and then kind of head off on the next adventure. So my last time teaching in Japan, I was there for almost 4 years. And so it was early 2022. I was finishing up, kind of getting ready to transition back to the States. I was been gone a long time. COVID had happened. Things had really changed. And I don't know if you've ever been abroad or, lived abroad or anyone but when you're coming back, especially when you're in your 30s, it's a pretty difficult transition. You don't have a car, all your stuff's in storage, you don't have a bed, you need an American cell phone, And one thing that had made that process a lot easier kind of in the planning was, having just being able to come back to Warner in a place where, I had connections, friends and family, and it just made that transition so much easier. I like that I have strong connections here. I talked about that before, but, just having a place where, I can walk down the street and meet some friends, or, I can meet friends at, the restaurant or the bar or the coffee shop very easily is really important to me. Beyond that, I think the natural beauty of Warner is a real asset. Mount Kearsarge, of course, is great. We definitely went there a lot, and it was really good because, when, I once when I was probably about 10 or 12 years old, I had an old friend visit from Connecticut where I'd grown up, and the first place we took him was Mount Kearsarge, and the second place we took him was the Indian Museum. It was good to show him, but then also it made me, even at that young age, feel like prouder of my community that I have cool stuff that we can show people when they come to visit.